Alright, namaste everyone. Welcome. So, yeah, I guess I've heard the calling for a handstand series or, some sort of course to show how I learned to handstand and hopefully offer you some insights into your own practice. So I wrote a few things down just to keep things on track, to give it a bit of structure for this intro video. I'm not really going to do a hell of a lot this intro video, so I think it's important to talk about the philosophy and the mindset first. So I mean, right out of the gate, I think it's important to know that, you're not going to be, putting your hands on the ground in the middle of the room or in the park and jumping into a handstand in the next, week or two. It's not a reality. It's probably not even going to be in the next month or two. It's probably going to be closer to a year or two. So yeah, I mean, right from the beginning, just keeping that in mind, knowing that this is going to be a commitment. This is going to be a solid commitment for the next year or two of your life, if that's something that you legitimately want to be able to perform, want to be able to embody, and you feel like it's a journey that you want to undertake. So yeah, so I guess, with that in mind, it's important to know or to note why this is something that you want to do. Is it about body awareness, about body control? Is it about learning how to move your body, how to connect and focus to the point of execution? If it's just a performance thing, if it's just, a little party trick, then, you're probably going to give up after, a short time, so why even bother? Yeah, for me, I've taken a lot out of Dylan Werner's teachings, and really resonated with that idea that, the pose of a handstand can become your meditation pose. It can be that point that brings you into focus, into alignment, into mindful awareness of what's going on for you in that present moment. I've also learned a lot from Patrick Beach. So I think it's important to note those two teachers that are already available, mainly through Aloe Moves, the app, but I'm sure you can also find footage and material on YouTube. Yeah, so I guess, we kind of covered those expectations and reality. It is a long-term journey. It's not something that's just going to happen for you with the click of the fingers or overnight or anything like that. So, putting in the work. In terms of more of the philosophy behind it, it's not really something that you want to binge work either. It's like your diet. You don't want to just like binge out and fast. It's like it's not a very healthy dynamic. So it's more of just like a dietary requirement kind of thing. It's like have you got your handstand practice in for the day? Have you done your 10, 15, 20, half an hour, whatever it is? It could be 2 hours. But on the other side of the spectrum, you don't want to burn yourself out each day, so that you do have some in reserve to continue the journey step by step as it progresses day by day. So yeah, like that sort of leads us towards that idea of preparation. Like you are preparing here for a big journey, so setting yourself up for that amount of commitment, of discipline, of connection to self. Yeah, So if we're talking about connection, I mean, we are changing that point of connection. So, you know, our connection to the earth is often rooted through, you know, Muladhara if we're in a seat, or through our feet if we're standing, walking, or, you know, moving about. So just like, you know, taking some time to learn that new connection of, you know, the hands to the earth, of the hands to our supporting structure. You know, it doesn't have to always be the earth. You know, we can balance on handstand canes, we can stack up obstacles to handstand on, walls, whatever it is. But again, just like, you know, feeling into that rootedness of the hands. So yeah, I might pull in another yoga mat here just to give us a bit more space. So the thing I learned from Patrick Beach is that, you know, our fingers don't want to be facing directly forwards. We want to give them that one little click out to the side. So both hands, one click out. So if you're using a yoga mat or something like that, you're thinking about pointing the middle fingers out towards the corners of the mat. It's just going to give you a bit more room to play with. And we're going to feel into it. So, you know, people talk about spider fingers where you're really gripping the floor. Let's see if I can show that better. You know, so the fingers are coming up off the ground. You know, this is really personal preference and depends on, you know, how much work you are required to do in the hands. But the idea is to grip with the balls of the fingers, you know, and pull towards the center. So we are really grounding down through the index knuckle. That's a, you know, core point of engagement there, of pressing that index knuckle in. And you want to ground through, you know, the whole web of the hand. So as much contact through the periphery as possible. You also don't want to have a cupped situation so that there's space between your hand and the floor. You want, you know, that connection to be solid through the whole hand and then through the balls of the fingers, with the fingers allowed to elevate off the ground. Nice. The next thing, obviously, is going to be the wrists. A lot of people are going to struggle with this because it's just an area that they haven't worked into the past. So, you know, all we need is that 80 or 90 degree angle from the forearm to the wrist, but it's going to take some work to have that to be comfortable for you. So yeah, wrist warm-ups are going to be, you know, a huge aspect to your practice early on. It's going to lessen as you move into the practice and won't become as vital. But early on, just making sure that you do warm up the wrists. So just, you know, taking the weight side to side, just making sure there's blood flow, that you're activated. You can bring in little circles going clockwise, anti-clockwise. You know, just spending those first 5 minutes just warming up the wrists, just warming up the body. If you want to bring in the shoulders, bit of spine. Nice. Another nice option is to bring the fingers to face towards the knees and just work the cat-cow here. So with the inhale, we're going to draw through. The exhale, we're going to round, and we're going to shift back. So you can go as far back as feels comfortable for you. Just feeling into the range of motion. Heels of the hands can lift. Nice, and we'll do one more. So again, just accentuating the spine, rounding it out, drawing back, keeping the elbows locked, shoulders engaged. Awesome. Another nice one is to take the fingers facing forward and just rock gently forward. Just increasing that range of motion beyond the 90 degrees. setting yourself up. Nice. So once the wrists are warm, obviously the next point up the chain is going to be the elbows. So the tendency, and for me as well, the tendency was to do more of an arm balance rather than a handstand, you know, at the beginning. So the elbows were bent, and like I was trying to muscle my way through it, you know, really trying to engage there. But we'll find that if we really, you know, lock the elbows out, press the elbow creases towards the front, and we're in more of a bone stack position, and we're going to require less muscle to hold us in that position because the bones are doing more of the work. Same thing as you go up the chain, once you get to the shoulders, you really want to press the shoulders out and lock them out. So a good way to learn this, to practice it, just our scapular shrugs. So what we're going to do is with an inhale, we're going to drop the chest through, but keep the shoulders pressing away. And then with the exhale, round up, full cat pose, puffing up through the upper back. And just doing a few of those. So without bending the elbows, lowering the chest, dropping, squeezing shoulder blades together. Exhale, rounding out, puffing through the upper back. Just taking a few more, just feeling into it, trying to stay, you know, quite neutral through the core as you drop down. You can re-engage when you press back up. Right, so then we come to the core. You know, there was a big sort of fad in the handstand world that it was all core, and you know, to a degree the core has to be engaged, but it's more of drawing everything into that midline. So, you know, that happens through squeezing the elbows together, through pressing out the shoulders, but then like engaging the chest and the core, squeeze everything up through that midline. You know, this extends to squeezing the butt together, drawing the thighs together, squeezing knees together, and then pointing through the toes. But that's for your final position. So really what we need for a handstand is this hollow body position, which can be practiced beforehand. So what we're essentially doing is creating this hollowness through the core area here by raising the feet off the ground and then extending the arms. So getting them to that 180, keeping the shoulders lifted, and feeling that engagement, pressing the lower back into the mat. So that's our handstand position. Obviously, a lot can be done with that, and we'll go into that in later videos. But for now, I think, how are we going? We're nearly approaching 15 minutes. So yeah, let's keep that as the intro. The hollow body position is going to be, you know, key to this. I guess before we end the video, we'll just show how we're going to start utilizing that hollow body position with the help of the wall to start off your handstand journey, because the wall is going to be your best friend for quite a while. Alright, so here's our friend Paul the wall. Just making sure you got enough space, and I have to remove a bit of artwork. But the idea is not to kick up into the wall. So we're not going to put the hands down here and then, you know, do a flying leap and hope the wall catches us, or put a hole through the wall or anything like that. So we're actually going to turn our backs to the wall, and we're going to bring the hands down and slowly walk the feet up. Once the feet are up, slowly walking the hands back until, you know, they're pretty close to the wall, because what we want to go into is the nose and toes to the wall. So the toes are there, the nose is there. And we're going to find that hollow body position, locking elbows out, pressing the ground away, locking the shoulders,
Elevating the shoulders and breathing into your space, breathing into your engagement. When you're ready, you can either walk your way back up or you can cartwheel, taking one hip to the side and slowly lowering your way out. Sorry, I should have adjusted my shirt there, but you get the idea. That's going to be your position that you want to practice for the majority of the time for the start of this journey. Any questions, please let me know. If this resonates with you, if it's something that you'd like to take further, again, please comment, please engage. Let me know if this is something worthwhile and something that you're going to actually commit to grow through, to engage with and practice with me. So again, namaste. Take care out there.